Hey guys, and welcome to an Animates review of One Piece chapter 1041. It's your boy KB. The chapter's titled Komorosaki. But before we get into the chapter, I actually sent out a tweet and an Instagram post asking for your thoughts and your opinions on the latest chapter. So I will be addressing your thoughts and comments, and if you're one of the lucky ones, your comment might be chosen. So just a heads up, in the future, every Friday when the chapter drops, look out on the Twitter or the Instagram socials to get your thoughts so I could talk about it on here. Now, without further ado, let's get to the chapter. The cover page is kind of cute. It's Sanji's ex-girlfriend or ex-fiance or whatnot, punching up his two siblings, Niji and Yonji. So yeah, it's quite funny because we also know she's got the ability to edit their memories, so she can do all types of stuff, insert memories, take out memories. It begs the question with the last cover page, did she actually insert the memory of Big Mom fisting them up? But I think that's something that actually did happen before Big Mom came to Wano. But yeah, without further ado, let's get to this chapter. It starts off with Zunisha arriving to Wano. This is something we've all been waiting for a long time. We knew Zunisha was coming because she's got ties to Wano. And Zunisha is also awaiting Momonosuke's orders. So yeah, I think a lot of people assume that Zunisha's just going to destroy the ships for CP0 and impact the war in Onigashima in some shape or form. A lot of people theorizing that Zunisha's going to use the trunk to pick up that huge sword at Onigashima by the skull and impact the fight in some shape or form. But I guess we've just got to see what order Momonosuke gives. So yeah, Yamato also states that Momonosuke is the one that Odin predicted to rule this world. But let's be real, we know that that's Monkey D. Luffy. Come on, man. Oda loves Luffy too much to allow that spotlight to be on anyone else. However, Momonosuke does have the voice of all things, so we'll just see how that plays out. Also, when Yamato was making this prediction, we also saw and noted that Odin took out several pages. A bit convenient, to be fair, because he took notes of everything, but conveniently there are several pages that are very important. I get it, we can't spoil the viewers with everything, so if we were privy to what those pages were, the series could end right now because we'd know what the One Piece is. But nonetheless, we'll see how it all plays out if Momonosuke is really going to be the one to lead the world to its dawn. And fun fact, the first chapter of One Piece is Romance Dawn, so I like how that all ties in. You know when you watch a series or read a book and then the title of a book or series comes up, kind of like that. But yeah, also it was great development for Momonosuke in this chapter, simply because it finally puts him in a predicament where he has to rise to the occasion and deal with a situation. So as we know right now, he's in a dilemma where he's contemplating whether to open up the borders of Wano or close them. And it is a fair question, to be fair, because you open up the borders to Wano, you're inviting other pirates, other Yonko, the Navy, the government. Even though the government's really snuck in, you're inviting all these type of threats. And if you're the leader of Wano country, or future leader, you want to make sure it's protected. So that makes a lot of sense. On the other hand, that was Odin's dream, right? To open up the walls and borders to Wano, to the outside world, and make it free. So it is an interesting predicament, and I do like that progression from Momonosuke because finally it brings a little bit more development to his character and shows that he's actually in a dilemma, and whatever he chooses in effect will allow his character to grow. So I really like that. Yeah, next we have the fight on Fukurojuku and Raizo. That fight's completely finished. Most of it got off screened, but let's be honest, we weren't really trying to see that. There are other fights we'd prefer to see, for example, Jinbei versus Who's Who, or Zoro versus King, or Sanji versus Queen. So personally, I'm not too mad at that, but let me know what you guys think. I'm just happy that it's over. The Battle of the Kage, everyone's been calling that. And the CP0. So now this bit is very interesting. The part in the chapter where in which CP0, two of them face off against Izu, which we saw them encounter. It was either last chapter or the chapter before. And a lot of people had the CP0 as very powerful. I can't lie, me included. I thought the CP0, it wouldn't make sense for them to become admiral level, but we all had them pretty strong. But the fact that two of them were struggling against a white big commander, which isn't no small feat, but let's be real, Izo's not really your first commander type of strength, or even second commander at that, you know what I'm saying? So it was quite interesting. I think it was a low-key a bit of a misstep. It would have been nice for CB0 to be more of a threat, simply because these guys are supposed to be assassins. They're supposed to be assassinating individuals, and if it's a case where they're not even strong enough to do so, how is that? Because we now know that they've been given the order to eliminate Luffy, but I'll get to that in the chapter. Yeah, so actually let's delve that now. So we know that CB0 have been given the order to eliminate Luffy, and now it just begs the question: if two of them are struggling against Izu, and Izo took out one of them, how on earth are you strong enough to take down Kaido, Luffy, who you've been ordered to? It makes no sense. It's impossible. So that's where I feel like it's probably a misstep in writing, because one, everyone expected them to be strong, but now I guess it comes to the spotlight that Rob Lucci is probably the strongest out of all of them. But how strong is Rob Lucci right now? So I don't know. Just let me know your thoughts, guys, because I personally would have had them a bit stronger. But then at the same time, they can't be admirals, because we know the admirals are the strongest force of the world government. So yeah, it's crazy. And furthermore, with the elimination, with them receiving the orders to eliminate Luffy, I think that kind of addresses who the Gorosei were discussing about the fruit being erased, the original name of the fruit being erased of the annals of history. I think it was Luffy, simply because it's not coincidence that a couple chapters ago they were discussing it, and now CB0 have been given the order to eliminate Luffy. So when you put two and two together, it kind of implies that they were discussing Luffy. But again, this is One Piece, so anything can happen. Also within the chapter, we've got Franky saves Zoro, which was nice. So now we know that Zoro hopefully is still alive. And we had that weird Reaper moment. Obviously, this was the chapter I've done since the beginning of this year, so I didn't really get my thoughts on that. But at first I thought that was Brook, but we now know Brook and is in a whole different part of Wano right now, Onigashima, so that can't be it. So it's very interesting. Is this the embodiment of Enma? Is this an embodiment for him to get a black blade? But what's going on? We didn't see the Reaper through Franky's eyes, so maybe this is something that only Zoro sees. So yeah, I don't think Zoro's dead, but equally, if he was to die, we know that we've got Law, I think, that has a fruit that could potentially help him out. Yeah, it's an interesting one. We know Oda doesn't like to kill people, so I'm not too worried for Zoro, but I am very interested to know what that whole Reaper situation was about. So if you guys got any thoughts, please do share it, because I'm very interested in it. And we go to Kaido versus Luffy, where they're having their Advanced Conquerors battle. They're going toe to toe. And it's actually quite an interesting part, my favourite part of the chapter, because Kaido now has a flashback about him and Charlotte Linlin going way back. It shows that obviously Charlotte Linlin was part of the Rocks crew and Kaido joins at the tender age of 15. And we see that Big Mom has the motherly kind of older sister figure for Kaido. It even tells him, if you have any questions or any problems, you come and see me. So that was actually quite nice. There's a little bit of development for Big Mom. I think Big Mom's not that great of a character, if I'm honest with you, but I guess this is some brownie points for us, so it's good to see. But yeah, hopefully this is the beginning of the Rocks flashback, because there's only very few people that can talk to us like about the crew itself. Whitebeard's no longer around, you know what I mean? And Big Mom and Kaido, the only one that's left that were actually there through the beginning. I guess there's Garp as well that could tell us a little bit, but he wouldn't be able to tell us from the eyes and perspective of Big Mom and Kaido. So hopefully this flashback can be drawn out, and I'm happy for it. I remember we had a long flashback for Odin, so I think if somebody deserves a long flashback, it's Kaido. It'd be very intriguing to see Rocks and Whitebeard and a young Charlotte Linlin, so I think this is very interesting. Funnily enough though, Luffy in his Snake Man form literally punches Kaido out of the flashback. And I can't lie, Snake Man was looking really good, was looking phenomenal, was looking clean. When this gets animated in 5-10 years time, it's actually going to look amazing, so I'm really looking forward to that panel. Yeah, and Luffy also states that this is his last time going into Gear 4th. which made me wonder the wording, the verbiage of it. What does that actually mean? Does that mean we're due for a gear 5th, possibly, if this is the last time you're going gear 4th? So yeah, overall I thought it was a great chapter. My personal highlight of the chapter was the whole Big Mom flashback with Kaido, and Kaido obviously being upset that him and Big Mom go way back and he should have helped her out and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that, and being very honest with you. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the chapter. Let me know your thoughts, and I actually have a few of your thoughts, so let's go straight into it. On Instagram we have J Preem's comment. I'm not too sure if these comments will post up on the screen, but right now I'll read it out. We have J Preem. He says this chapter was a very wholesome chapter. I agree. I think it was very wholesome with the Big Mom Kaido flashback, and it was very nice for the interaction between Momonosuke and Yamato, and obviously put Momonosuke in that situation where he's in a dilemma to allow his character to grow. We have another comment from A. Demont. He said that chapter was too cold. Yep. I agree with you, bro. I thought it was a cold chapter as well. Another comment from Hanad. Shout out to you, Hanad. He said, Brazy, Luffy said no to Kaido's flashback with a fist full of love. Man said that Luffy basically punched Kaido out of the flashback. That is hilarious, but that's basically what happened. Let's see if we get another flashback and if Luffy punches him out of it again. But yeah. Another comment from Uncanny Ramsey. He said, for fuck's sake, it's already out. Yeah, my bro, the chapter's out, so make sure you read the chapter and then come back to this response. Another comment from Max. Good chapter. Also wondering why they want to desperately take out Luffy ASAP. Good question, and I agree it was a good chapter. I think the reason why they want to desperately take out Luffy ASAP is because of the conversation we saw the Gorosei have. We saw the Gorosei talk about and discuss a specific fruit that that the previous world government changed the name. So I don't know, I think it kind of makes sense that they were just having that conversation and all of a sudden CP0 get the order to take him out. And obviously we've seen CP0 quite weak 2v1 against Izo. How on earth they're looking to take out Luffy, I have no idea. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Caught on the Twitter as well, we have a few people. We had AT, the philosopher. He said it's about to end how we predicted. Okay. Iman Malik, 10 out of 10 chapter as usual. Luffy going into gear 4th. Snake Man directly shows he's no longer messing around. Izo taking out CP0 means either CP0 weak or Izo's underrated. I mean, I didn't look at it from that perspective. He has got a point. The final CP0 won't even reach Luffy. Sanji and Jibe still standing. Another comment from Trev. That plot armor came solid as usual. I wonder who he's talking about. That plot armor came solid as usual. I'm not too sure there. Is it Izo you're discussing or Zoro? I'm not too sure. And then yeah, man, we just had a few from Lucas and Joseph. Lucas said CP0 saying they're scared of Luffy. That's hard. Joseph saying Oda sure loves a cliffhanger. He's looking forward to next week, and it should all be Luffy and Kaido from now. Also, the Marines are moving hella mad, but yeah, just put bare hits on people. But yeah, those are the comments and thoughts from you guys. Like I said, I will be sending out a tweet on the Twitter page and a post on the Instagram page to get your thoughts on it, to be included in these chapter reviews. But yeah, it's been your boy KB. These are my thoughts on One Piece chapter 1041. Please leave a like on the video if you did. Please subscribe as well, and let me know your thoughts on the chapter down below. What was your favorite moment of the chapter? So yeah, catch you guys next time. Peace.